as we always do, we have some new singles of the week. We talk about new singles that come out, and I don't know about you, Sean, but I really like this week. What about you?
Yeah, these singles are this might be my one of my favorite singles days we've ever done in Audioface. It's
Hands
fantastic.
down. So let's start with Long Beach's own Vince Staples with Law of Averages. This is the first single
It's
off of
hard.
his self-titled
Hmm.
album that will be coming out in July, actually. So we are
Let's see,
very,
yeah,
very
pretty
close to
soon.
that. Yeah. What were your thoughts?
It I like it a lot. It took me like a couple listens to kind of get into it a bit because of like the I forget who's doing the production on the album. Can't think of his name off the
Kenny
top of my
Beats.
head. Kenny Beats. For his stylistic choices and stuff of the musicality behind. But once I listened to it a few more times, I really enjoyed it, and it's nice to have a little bit of a introspective within Vince Staples. And the music video is really good too, which I'm not a
Yeah.
big music video guy at all, but the one you told me to watch, and I was like, that's actually fantastic. Great track of, and it gives me hope for what's to come on the album. Really, really anticipated album for a lot of people, especially us too on Audioface.
Yeah, the Law of Average music video, I highly recommend you check it out. It's just like shot really nicely. You can tell Vince Staples is probably going to bring his A game for this future album
Oh
release.
yeah,
Not just saying us being like Vince heads, Long Beach folks. It's just like he is doing many of the right things you do when you're about to come up with a new album. He said, this album is going to be an experiment for me, paraphrasing here, because it's going to be talking about myself. He says in a lot of earlier works, Vince Staples, were talking about himself. He would, he had a look about himself, but he's grown, he's matured since then. So he's going to take another look at that. So I'm really excited to see that EP, especially because one complaint we have had about Vince Staples is we want him to be like more topically more explorative now.
yep,
And he is like significantly more topically more explorative than most rappers. So there's that, but there's still better he can do. I'm excited to see what he does with that. And speaking
yeah.
of rappers who do pretty much everything right, Lumberjack by Tyler the Creator. This is Tyler the Creator's triumphant return since the multi-award winning and DJ Khaled bitching Igor that came out just a while ago. And all I can say is that Tyler's in rare form right here. This is really hit.
So
This
this is
hits.
interesting. This is like a bridge between old Tyler and Igor Tyler of like kind of combining the two into his own person for the track for Lumberjack. It reminded me a lot of his older stuff, but it had some themes and things, and the production of it reminded me of Igor at the same time. So it's kind of a cool little mixture for a track.
Yeah, it had. I mean, like chronologically speaking, like Scumfuck Flower Boy would be the middle part between like old Tyler and Igor. But like, I get
Yep.
what you mean. This sounds a lot more like that perfect blending. It seems like Tyler's taking, at least in some cases, some of the sort of leveling up that he did with his music in Igor and like all around that, and then taking that to like a hard rap. Okay, I'm going back to my roots, into basics, to the beats. It goes really hard.
Yeah.
You even have like the hype people in the background saying like, well, I never seen him do this before, this is totally different. And it's true, like it does sound different and advanced, and evolved from what his usual sound is, not like totally unusual. So like if you've heard him before, you're not going to be like left out and alone, but or like confused or anything like that, but it's still very, very good. Also, the music
Yes.
video for that, the visuals are very good.
It's pretty
Tyler the
cool.
Creator usually does not let down in that department, and this is not the case here. Um, so check the hell out of that. Next up, we have another favorite on Audioface, Jackie by Yves Tumor. Uh, Sean, Yves is your person. What do you think?
Oh man, this shit's good. I saw like okay, Yves Tumor single. I'm like, let's check it out, and damn, it's good. Following up on their award-winning album as well, a multiple Audioface award-winning album last year. Jackie kind of goes on some of the similar tones you've gotten on the previous two records of blending that like avant-garde rock into a modern day twist, and everything is very, very good. The music video is crazy. It's trippy as hell. It's really fun too.
I think it's designed with like AI or something like that, so it's not like a full
I could see
camera
that.
thing. It's the AI doing it itself. It's very saturated colors and very visual. I think all of these music videos we talked about, in addition to the singles, they're in their own ways very saturated, very colorful, very raw and gritty, but in their own ways that neither of these three videos are the same. They're both very distinct for the artists that are representing in the project. So it's very good. And yeah, I'll take any more Yves Tumor I can get, even though I think we just did 3 singles in a row. And at least Tyler and Vince are coming out with new albums soon. So we just broke this. I mean,
Yeah, I
like,
don't know
no
if
more
you
singles
guys
for us.
or not. Yeah, it'd be interesting because Heaven for a Tortured Mind came out early 2020, like around March maybe or April. It was pretty early on to pandemic times, and it'd be interesting to see if they release one this year or later on, because sometimes they'll release singles and wait like 4 or 5 months to have a full album release, because that's what's happened in the past 2 at least. So
I also think that they are going to tour Heaven to a Tortured Mind this year, because like now everyone's touring.
They are.
So I think it might be a little while before we get a full out project, but still, like,
I would be surprised if they released something that early as well. And I know like they just posted dates and stuff too for this year and even going into next year for touring that record, and which is good with me because that record is so good.
These musicians are straight about to bankrupt me with their concerts, man. I'm gonna tell you.
Yes.
And then last we have Midnight Charm by Jenevieve. This was a really interesting track. It's kind of like a neo-pop trap sort of construction, but
it's interesting.
Yeah, feels different. What do you think?
I like it. I mean, it has your normal. My only complaint would be just your average trap beat, but it's something like crazy. It's cool where you Genevieve's voice is fantastic, and within the themes, it's mixing those two. That we do get a lot. We'll get a lot of like kind of trap and beat, but it's just more of like a complete mixture of your neo pop within straight trap. So it's like that perfect middle ground between it for a track.
I think this is some of that. I think this is some of that indie neo pop that we've been talking about a little bit this year with folks like Arlo Parks and things like that.
Arlo Parks, yeah,
it's really good. I definitely check it out. Damn, those are some good singles. We usually don't spend even that much time on singles. Oof, really love it.
They deserve the damn time.
For sure, especially now. Anyways, plugs, which I don't usually do remotely, which still feels weird. But yes, the 2021 AF playlist, we're keeping it updated every week with songs that we really like. Bangers that we're playing pretty much all the time, like Law of Averages is straight my new like default song right now. I'm listening to it so much. But all those things that we like and both Sean and I like can be found in the 2021 AF playlist, all of our favorite songs from the year 2021 on Spotify. You can find the link to that in the podcast description or the video description if you're watching it here. Check out the bonus episodes of Audioface. We've done runs recently on Radiohead, Caro Bonito, Daft Punk, State of Music 2021, Doom, etc. Check all those out wherever you get the podcast, music video, whatever, and help us grow by subscribing to us on YouTube at youtube.com/audiofacepod or following us on Twitter and Instagram, twitter.com/audiofacepod, instagram.com/audiofacepod. Very simple there. On Power Report, we did a Power Report episode last week. Time is flat. And it was really good with Sean and Caesar talking about just sort of the general news of the times and happenings going on. I'm going to try to, I'm doing, as you can see, like a lot of different like moving stuff right now, but I'm going to try to get a guest on next week because it's been a while since I do a guest. So definitely check out Power Report, powerreport.world for all of those political things. And thank you, Peter, especially now for all of the weird audio things that are going to be happening since I've completely changed my studio setup for the next couple months. This episode of Audioface is edited by Dead Music Productions. Follow them on Instagram at deadmusic666.